The engine is self-powered.
For launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so happy you guys are here. I hope you guys had a I'm sorry I missed you guys last week, but it was 4th of July. I hope everybody had a safe and fun 4th of July. Hello to Michelle and Dawn and Lois and Kristen and Deb and everybody else that's popping in. I don't want to miss anybody. Hello, hello, hello. So my screen might look a little different. Funny story, guys. You all know the full moon. We're in the buck moon. And so today I am typing all my notes because even though I know the stuff, I like to type notes because then my brain goes haywire. My mom brain. And saving pictures. The next thing you know, my laptop starts flashing blue saying there's an error. And it keeps doing it over and over again. And I do everything to fix it. I factory reset everything. Still flashing. So you know what? I haven't had this. I don't think I've had it for a year. It's under warranty. I'll just get it fixed. My warranty expired 2 days ago. So I'm scrambling, what do I do? I have a thing tonight. So I was like, I'll just pull out my iPad and hopefully my iPad will work just as good. And so far, so good. So if it looks a little wonky, I apologize. My computer decided to leave the building on the full moon. So I'm so happy you guys are here. So fun night tonight. I'm going to talk about superstitions. Now, if you're over here from my TikTok, you've probably heard me talk about superstitions many times. It's one of my favorite topics. But I have a whole bunch for you guys. I have 31, I think. We'll see how many we can get through. I had 60, but I moved it down to 31. And we'll see if we can get through them all. Let me see. Hello, hello, hello. Deb, isn't that a crazy full moon? It's I had a good week. I started urgent care this week, so I'm working in urgent care and everything is going good. The moon was beautiful last night, and today my computer just dies. And I'm just like, Okay. But anyway, we digress and we figure it out. So first, I want to know, guys. Let me see if I can do this a little different. Okay. Does that look better? There we go. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can show everybody chatting. Okay. Um, so question, guys, how many of you guys have a superstition? Do you guys believe in superstitions? Do you think superstitions are real? And if there's a certain one that you guys tend to follow more than the other one, I would love to know. I'll tell you the ones that I follow and my family follows. We're going to talk about them. For kicking it off, number one, the one main superstition that I follow and I think I will always follow is purse on the floor is money out the door. If you're a friend of mine, I probably told you guys this until you're blue in the face. If you come to my house and you put your purse on the floor, I'm going to pick it up and tell you that purse on the floor is money out the door. I have origins of it we're going to talk about in this live, but I really cannot depict like the very first time somebody made that up. But I fully believe if you put your purse on the floor, you're gonna lose money. Men, if you lay, sometimes men come home and they take their jeans or pants, whatever they got on, and that wallet is in the pants. If you drop your pants, men, and your wallet's on there, that's the same thing. Purse on the floor is money out there. Whatever you're keeping, you got cash in your pocket. I don't care what it is. Once it touches the ground, you're gonna lose money. Why? Mark my words. So, obviously, a superstition is something that starts many, many centuries ago and it gets passed along throughout the centuries, throughout cultures. And so, what I believe, my kids believe, for instance, my grandma taught us that every New Year's Eve we put a black eyed pea and a penny in the window that represented we would have and enough food and enough money to pay our bills. However it would work, it would work. And so every New Year's Eve, I still do that. And now my kids will remind me to do that. See how it passes along. And when they have children, they'll probably remember that and they might choose to continue the tradition or they might just say, you know what, mom's crazy. I'm done. Um, let's see. Let's see. Oops. Where'd it go? Okay, there we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm so used to looking for a keyboard. I don't have a keyboard. Kristen says, yes, the girl that I used to work with said the same thing. Never leave a purse on the floor. It's bad luck with money. I will tell you, I'm so anal about that. I will walk up and be like, do you know? Put your purse up. It's bad luck. So that's one of mine. You do not sweep my feet. I will be on top of the table before you sweep my feet. And if we're at a restaurant, you can ask David, you can ask my kids. If there's somebody like sweeping, I will look them dead in the eye and be like, hey, let me know if you need me to move, but please do not sweep my feet. I fully believe that's bad luck too. I have that in my list of things to talk about. Another big one with my family, and Bob, you can chime in because I know you're in here, is no whistling in the house. Whistling in the house means that you're going to invite negative spirits. I don't really believe that one. That was my family's one. We whistle in the house all the time because I have a bird. He whistles, we whistle. But my mom would yell at us, do not whistle in the house. It's bad luck. What else? Another one that I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's any other ones that we really follow. But the purse on the floor is my number one pet peeve. My skin will crawl if I see your purse on the floor. It's really bad, guys. I don't know. It's just bad. But yeah, anyway, please in the chat tell me, guys, one that you guys follow if you believe it. Now, I have met many people that say superstitions are not true. That they're only true if you put your intention in them, which I believe. If I believe in a prayer and the prayer works, it's because I put my intention into the prayer. It meant something to me. Same with the superstition. If I believe that if I put my purse on the floor, money's going to fall, and then money leaves, then my brain, I made it. It's real. Or some people it's like, I'll throw my purse on the floor, nothing bad's gonna happen, and maybe it doesn't. Hello, son. Hello, dragon. Hello. I'm so happy you guys are here. So let's get started. I'm gonna talk about a bunch of ones from all over the world, and we'll see how many we can get into. If we have to, I'll do a part 2, or I might do a part 2 on my TikTok one day because I do that a lot. But I have a bunch, and let me know if you guys believe them. Hello. Oh, Deb says personal floor is money out the door. Yes, it is. And isn't it cool how perfect that rhymes? I want to know. I would like to know the person that actually invented the saying "personal floor is money out the door" because it's stuck with me. And my kids roll their eyes and I'm like, pick the purse up. Even David, he'll put my purse in the car, and a couple of times he's gone to go sit it on the ground. I'm like, no, 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 pick it up. I don't care if you have to hold it or put it up on the dashboard. Person pours money out the door. But let's get started. Now I'm gonna see if I can get. I got some basic pictures because all my pictures I had were so pretty and cool, and they're all gone. They're just gone. You go out the door that you came. Oh, he brings up a good one. Um, Bob, Lewis, I call him Bob. He says you go out the door that you come back into. You do not go out the back door and come into the front door. So yeah, my family too. If you, let's say, for instance, because David, my husband, gets mad at me all the time about this. But let's say you go out the front door, and for some reason you walk around the house to the back door. Now, realistically, it's a lot easier just to walk in the house through the back door. No, my family believes you have to go back around the house and come back in the same door you left. So, I don't really follow that one. I used to be really, really bad about that one. I've kind of loosened up because, I have kids and sometimes that's just a lot, have to walk back around. But my family's really big on that. Thank you for reminding me. Kristen says she makes sure her purse is on the table or hung up. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I love it. Let me put you guys back on here so you guys can see what you're saying too. I'm sorry, guys. Working this tablet is really confusing to me. I'm so used to my laptop where it's so much easier. All right, let me see if I can figure out the picture thing now. And then we'll really be cooking with fire. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's start with this one. Are we gonna work? Are we gonna work? If it's said enough times, maybe superstitions might stick, so to speak, but I find some seem to be real, some are the opposite for me, like black cats on a Friday the 13th, not unlucky, but lucky. Yes, that's on my thing to talk about too. Why is my picture not coming up? Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry for this technical difficulty. I promise I will get it together one of these Fridays. Why aren't you coming up? Add. It was working for. There we go. There we go. So the first one, and again, guys, please tell me if you believe in this too. Hi, happy Friday. Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm not ignoring you guys. But yes, you're right. If it said, you said it right. If it's said enough times, hey, you're probably going to believe it after a while. Now, can I do that chat overlay while I have photos? I can. Hey. Okay. So, let me get this out the way. Ladders. How many of you guys believe that it is bad luck to walk under a ladder? And do you know where it started? Like, because that's the thing. I mostly don't walk under a ladder because I don't want it to fall on me or whatever's going on up there. I don't want that on top of my head. So to me, it's a safety thing, but I do get a little, like, my skin does shake a little bit when I see a ladder and people are walking under it, and I'll tell my kids not to do it. But mainly because I don't want it to fall on my head. But it actually goes way back. Now, depending on the culture, right? So when we look at things like ancient Egypt, things like that, a triangle is what a ladder looks like when it's perfectly open, depending on the ladder. You have the ladders now that just, go up instead of open. But your basic old school ladder that you actually have to open makes a triangle. Now, throughout time, triangles were very sacred geometry. Look into that, guys, especially when it comes to like Egypt and things like that. When you look at how pyramids were made in what? A triangular form. In Egypt, triangles were very sacred shapes. Now, if you move on to like Christian speakings, a triangle represents like the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Now, Egypt has something similar, but theirs is more like their Holy Trinity is more like based on like the different gods and goddesses, the three main ones. And so you see how that kind of goes. But nevertheless, a triangle is a part of sacred geometry, which I got to sit on a lecture that Glenda did with somebody that specializes in sacred geometry. It's a lot for me to understand, but it's really cool. And if you start looking at all these different places like Stonehenge and the pyramids and how sacred geometry was used to make this stuff, it's really cool. Also, so I freeze if a ladder comes into my path, I won't walk under it. So I guess I believe in that one. There you go. But do you think you guys believe in it because you were told to believe in it, or do you really feel like it's real? That's always my question. When people tell me things, I'm like, do you believe it because somebody else, like mom, dad, friend, society, the internet told you it's real, or is it because you feel like it's real? Isn't that cool how that works? Also, now back in the I'm not scared of walking under ladders. As I walked in the job that only had enough room for myself instead of ladder, I had to go on them all the times just to access my tools. There you go. Some people aren't. Me, I like Dragon says my skin just kind of like and that and it's like a safety thing. Now, during the Middle Ages, this is where it really gets this is where the superstition really ramps up, right? So back in the Middle Ages, what happened is they would make you walk through the town to the gallows, right? If you were going to be unalived, you would have to walk the path to the gallows. And to get to the gallows, there would be a ladder. You would walk under the ladder, go around and walk up it to get to the platform where the gallows are and all the people are watching, then boom, you're unalived. So it is said that because of all that energy going through it, it created this. I don't want to say portal because that's not really what it is, but it created a spot where souls could get trapped. And going back to Egypt, they said that if you interrupted a triangle, whether it be a ladder or whatever the case may be, you are upsetting the gods and goddesses, mainly the gods, because this is their sacred place. You're going through it. Now you've upset the gods. Bad luck is going to come. Again, this is centuries ago. During the Gallo days in the Middle Ages, they believed that spirits would get trapped because the person would be unalived and maybe they would get trapped in that area that they just walked. And then now we call it residual energy because we repeat that. But back then, they didn't know. So this is how this whole walk under the ladder, you're going to get bad luck kicked off. You only believe it because someone told you. That's what Dawn says. It feels off to me to walk under a ladder. I guess if I had no choice, I would, but I don't like to. No, I'm with you. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll pass. You know. Okay, let me see. Did I miss anything I wanted to say about ladders? Yeah, just that it brings. So that's where it came from. It started out with like Egypt. And then, of course, when Egypt had their Trinity, of course, then Christianity has theirs, and the gallows, everything that represented the ladder back then ended up being kind of wonky luck, depending on where you were. Either you were upsetting the gods, or you were about to go be put out of this earth. I'm trying to be careful with my words because Facebook has been censoring really bad. Bob says if you're walking with someone and they walk around the pole and they walk around the other side, you're supposed to go back and walk around the side. They didn't know the thing. Yeah, you're not supposed to split a pole either. They say if you, and especially if you're in a relationship and you walk in and like a pole is there and you split it instead of like going around it, it is said that your relationship won't last or it will have some kind of bad luck. If you and a family member are doing it, it says to bring bad luck to the family. That's another big one thing. Hello. Hello, Howie. I'm so happy you're here. Look, I got the tablet to work. We're talking about superstitions. So happy. If everybody could send all their love to Ed and his family right now, that would be great. I'm not gonna say why because that's not my business to do, but he can use a little extra love right now. So let's send him that. Step on the crack, break your mother's back. Always thought that one's ridiculous. We step on cracks all the time. Yes. So I did not prepare that one, but I will go ahead and tell you guys real quick. That comes from African folklore. So they used to do that to the children over there. Like it's more like you need to listen. So it would make the kids kind of scared. Like, okay, don't do this or this will happen. And step on the crack, break your mama's back was one of those teachings they did in Africa back then. It's really cool. It all goes back to your mom's back is really not going to break, but it's more like, hey, you're not listening. If you don't listen, do what we say. It's going to happen. So thank you for reminding me of that one. I should have thought about that one. Okay. Let me get rid of this photo because I think I have to do it one at a time, and it's going to be really annoying, but hey. I just want to make sure. Photo library. Let's see. What is next on the chopping block? Okay. Now, it's going to pop up. Why do I have to do it twice? Hold on, guys. I don't know why it's making me do it twice. I liked my laptop version much better. It would just pop right up, and it was so much easier. There we go. Here we go. Okay. How many of you guys believe in the evil eye? Now, evil eye goes from Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, and Latin America folklore superstitions. And pretty much it says that all somebody has to really do is look at you sideways and send you bad luck. Now, usually this would be somebody that's a practitioner or something that really knows what they're doing. But they always say the sign. What is the saying? Your eyes are the window to your soul. If you ever look into somebody's eyes, you can pretty much tell. I have looked at someone's eyes that had very evil intentions, and you can see it. It's really yucky. But in their cultures, their superstition is you can be out and about, and you upset somebody, and they can give you this look, and as they're giving you this look, now you're gonna have some bad will come towards you. Again, this is mostly in Middle Eastern and Latin and Mediterranean countries, but it's here in America too. It's really big. So think about that. And, it kind of works like that makes sense because it never, words or spells works that way too. However, let me close this one and get the next thing. With this particular superstition, there's a back door, right? That mostly everybody uses and has no idea what it's for, but they're using it. I found that comical. Oops, wrong thing. How do I get rid of this? Come on, guys. Did I just close my thing? Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's get this back. Okay. We're still here. We're getting it. This is going to be an interesting night, guys. All right. Image. Photo library. Let's try this again. Okay, this little guy right here. Or girl. Whatever. I'm going to figure this out this week. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. See this right here? This is what everybody, especially here in America, everybody's wearing now. The evil eye, the little blue pendant. They wear it on bracelets. They wear it on necklaces. They wear it. People have it tattooed. People have it hanging in their car, in their house. This is a very old talisman. This goes way back. Now, Egypt also has their own form of this eye too. It looks completely different. It looks Egyptian, obviously, and it's pretty much like the Eye of Horus and other things like that. More talismans. These certain talismans are used for protection. The theory goes if you wear said talisman, nobody can give you the evil eye. So if you are wearing it and you make somebody upset and they look at you sideways, well, nothing's going to happen because you're wearing this talisman, if you believe it. A lot of people are wearing these. It's a big trend right now, and some people don't even know why they're wearing them. And I'm like, do you know what that means? And they're like, no, but it's cool. Everybody's wearing it. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're happy, I'm happy for you. But this is why. It all goes back to Middle Eastern tradition where they would wear this to protect themselves, right? If you drop this on the floor of the table, you're somebody's supposed to. Yes, I'm gonna talk about that one in a second. That's another. Oh, that's another one I use too. I'm actually gonna talk about that one next. So let me get rid of this talisman. Okay. Again, thank you for your patience, guys. Hopefully next week my laptop will be fixed or I'll have something different and it won't be so much pausing. Okay, here we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this one. This is a fun cartoon. Image. Okay. Now, how many of you guys believe that if you spill salt, you have to throw it over your left shoulder? Does anybody know where that came from? This actually came from Europe. So what happened was back way centuries ago, salt was a very, very precious mineral. Now it's everywhere. You know, salt galore. We got table salt and Celtic salt and pink Himalayan salt and salt galore. Black salt, all kinds of salts. She will buy a new one. I will buy a new one. Not this week. The mama is broke. But so, and also, if you ever heard of the saying, you always have an angel and a devil on your shoulder. Well, the theory says the angel always sits to your right and the devil always sits to the left. Well, if you spill salt, which is this precious mineral, it was said to be bad luck. And so now you have this devil that's really grinning on your shoulder. And the way to break that bad luck is you pick up said spilt salt and throw it over the left shoulder, and you're throwing it in the devil's eye or the demon's eye or negative spirit, whatever part you believe in. When you throw it at them, you get rid of them. Salt is very purifying, it's very cleansing. Now you cleanse that off your shoulder, right? That's what they believe. So if you have like an attachment and you throw it over your shoulder, you've cleansed your back now, and hopefully just the angel's still sitting there. Again, this is superstitions get kind of wonky and wild throughout time, but this is really big. And as you can see, she's throwing salt over the shoulder into the demon's face. um, Also, let me see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, so this is the big one about that. This is great. I did not know that. Yeah, you have anybody? Does anybody do that? I do. I throw salt over my left shoulder all the time. If I spill it, I'll pick up a little bit. I don't. I'm not really one that thinks that devil sits on my shoulder, but I don't know. I think it just makes me feel better. Grandma and my aunts and uncles always threw salt on the left shoulder to get the devil off their back if they spill salt. We also pour salt for protection around doors and outside walls. Yes, that is a really good thing. You can take Celtic. I like Celtic sea salt, but hey, if all you have is table salt, use what you got. It's intention, right? You can put salt, like they said, around your home, around the doors. Everybody has tops of their door frames. You can put a little line of Celtic sea salt or whatever you have. Put it up there. You can put that, and you can put selenite sticks above your door. Also, on the first of the month, I blow cinnamon through my front door for abundance. And when I blow cinnamon through my front door, I also put a little pinch of salt because, again, salt is protective. So the cinnamon stands for abundance. I'm asking for health and abundance for my home for the month. The salt is going to add protection from anything that's nasty to stay away. And I do that every first of the month. So there you go. But yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, you do that too? Yeah, a lot of people do the salt ritual now. I love it. And if you don't know how to do it, you just take some cinnamon, put it in your hand, stand outside the door while you're facing inside the door. Because remember, we're pushing the luck inside of our house, not out. And you can put a little pinch of salt or whatever you choose, or any other herbs, because people like different herbs. And you put it in your hand and you say, whatever you want. Like if you want health and abundance for your home, if you want whatever you're asking for the month. And then after you say that, you blow it through the house, and you have to leave it for 24 hours, and then you sweep it up. So don't blow it and then go sweep the cinnamon up, because then you sweep it away. You have to let it sit for a little bit and marinate, and then you can sweep it up. First of the month, every month, that's the cinnamon ritual. I hate cleaning up other spilt salt at work too. It makes me feel like they did it on purpose. Laughing off. Yeah, maybe. Hey, you never know. Maybe they were throwing the salt in their devil's eyes, and it just kind of spilled. um, I want to throw in one more aspect of the salt that I don't personally believe, but for the live purposes, I like to give y'all a little bit of all the stories, right? We are just a bunch of old gypsies. So let me close grandma here, whatever she is. I like my little cartoon. All right. Now, the next one, depends on what you believe. Do I have... Okay. Now, there's another theory that when Leonardo da Vinci... Did I put the year? Wait a minute. Where's my salt? I did not. But Leonardo da Vinci, he obviously painted the Last Supper. And they also say this bad luck because they're saying in the photo of the Last Supper, I have it zoomed in for you guys for this purpose, that as you can see, this is apparently a depiction of salt being spilled, and the person that's in front is said to be Judas. Now, is that true? I'm not the all-knowing Last Supper. I did not paint it. I'm not Leonardo da Vinci, so I don't know. But this is another way. I'd like to show you guys all the angles, right? So I'm more the other belief of the throwing it over your shoulder, but some people believe it's because it was in the Last Supper, and Leonardo da Vinci did this, and unfortunately he's not here to tell us, hey, this is why I did it. But maybe they really did spill salt. I don't know. But this is one of those things I wanted to include so you guys have a full picture, right? And I zoomed it in for you guys. Obviously, if you was to zoom out, it would be the whole Last Supper, but this is just this little instance to do that. Sorry, just making sure I'm not missing on the chat. Again, guys, make sure you guys are throwing in any and all superstitions you guys believe in. If you believe in the salt thing, let me know. All right. How much coming down the steps? What's the next one I'll talk? I have a list so I can stay in order and I don't go rambling. um, okay. Let me see. Oops, I did this again. How do I cancel this? Esme, move. Hold on, guys. Hang on. Wait. I'm trying to see how to cancel this. Wait. How do I make it stop? If I do that, cancel. Okay, did I cancel? Yes, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I accidentally hit camera instead of image. Okay, now y'all can go. Okay, the next one is this one. Sorry about that. I keep wanting to take a picture instead of doing this. You drew a pentagram of pepper? Okay. How many of you guys have the theory of itchy palms? And you believe, some people get confused, which one itches means you are going to get money, and which one means you're going to throw money out the door. That's another big one too, right? Does anybody believe in this superstition? I would love, love, love to know. So, itchy palms goes back to the Caribbean, obviously. And it's because they believe that if your right palm was itching, you would receive money. If your left palm was itching, you would lose money. So you receive with the right, you give with the left. Some people believe it's opposite. I've always believed you receive with the right, you give with the left. And also, there's sacred wood in the Caribbean, and they believe that if their hands are itching, they would go rub their hand on said wood to seal in that luck, right? To seal in the luck. And they did that. And what else did I want to say about that? I didn't have much to say. Oh yeah, they rubbed their hand on the itching wood, and it's all about energy exchange. It's kind of like warning you, hey, you're about to receive money, or hey, you're about to have a bill you don't want to have to pay, but you're gonna have to pay it. And it's one of those things. So itchy palms right, you're gonna get money. Left, you're gonna lose money. And again, some cultures believe that it is opposite, but in the Caribbean, it's the right. All right. All right. Next is whistling indoors. So I do it right this time. Photo library. I keep want to hit take photo. All right. Whistling indoors. Now, there's a lot. Oh, yes, money's coming, loose money. Heard of that one. Never really believed it. Yeah, I don't know. I always get confused. My hands will start itching. I'm like, which one is it again, David? So we gotta lose money or get money because we need to get some. So my mother was a big believer. You did not whistle in the house. If you whistle in the house, she believed in like demons and stuff. You were inviting them in. There's a whole theory behind that. I don't believe that. Again, I have a bird. My bird whistles all the time, and there's no demon in here. If you believe it may bring or lost money, I'm guessing your left get tight loose. I always heard that way too. Yeah, maybe. It's so crazy how they all change. Right, not tight. Yeah, I get you what you're saying. It says it can bring financial misfortune. It's from Slavic countries. Slavic countries, if I can talk. Um, Also, so they believe anytime you whistle, you're inviting evil spirits because they believe at night evil spirits are roaming. And if they are roaming and you're whistling, it's like saying, "Hey, come on in. You're welcome." Kind of like having that welcome mat. That's another one. You're not supposed to have a welcome mat because you welcome anything in your house. I don't know if I believe that one or not. But so they believe that. And in Japan, they also have a big thing too. They say if you whistle at night, you're going to summon snakes and thieves. So you're inviting a thief to come and steal from you. Again, there's no real lore on how a devil is going to come in if you whistle, but they believe that. I always hated when people come in a space whistling. Maybe that's why no whistle in the house is a Santeria thing too. Ooh, thank you for that. I wonder. I mean, like, I get it. I guess I get it, but I don't get it because I always feel like if a demon's coming in, it doesn't matter if you're whistling, welcome mat. they're coming. You know, like they're gonna do what they need to get in, unless you're like locked and loaded with protection. But you know, like there's things that happen, and I just don't know if whistling's gonna like. But maybe it does. Maybe it does. My mother believed it. If you started whistling, she would give you one warning. If you continue to whistle, she'd tell you you gotta kick a rock. Um, yeah, it was a big thing. So whistling indoors, bad luck. Let me take this one off. I have to do all this touchscreen now. I'm so used to my keyboard. I can tell I'm getting old. You can tell I'm getting old. All right. One that I completely don't agree with, but for this purpose, we're going to talk about it. Don't whistle at night. Just don't whistle at all. It's, yeah, I guess. Don't whistle at all. Um, where is it? Okay, this is one I do not believe at all, but it did not come up. Why is it doing that? Oh, library. Where are you? Here you go. There we go. A lot of people believe that if a black cat crosses your path, it's going to bring you bad luck. I think it's opposite. I think that it is good luck. I have two black cats. One's named Rocket, one named Shadowfall. They are both black. I love my little grandkitties. They're my daughter's cats. They used to be a thing too. If your hand is itching, you're going to shake hands with a stranger. I've heard that too. Just like if you are in your home and your broom falls, company's coming. That's an old, definitely most of my witchy friends. Firm believers that if a broom falls in your home unexpectedly, like, obviously if you just set it down and it falls, that's on you. But if you have a broom that's been sitting there for days and all of a sudden it like flows over, company's coming. It's a really big superstition. And I kind of believe that too because I've seen it happen. Um, but so the whole thing about black cats, I think, is really crazy, and I don't believe it. But back in the Middle Ages, and all this whole witch trials and all the things, is black cats were always tied to witches, and they were called their familiars. So they believed that their soul could transfer to the cat, and they believe that if a black cat crossed your path, it may not be a cat, it might be the soul of said witch, and you're gonna get hexed. It's really crazy, guys. I know I do not believe this one. I don't like this one, but this is a really big one that people do tend to remember. However, this is very, very important. In Scotland, and also I think it's Japan, but for sure in Scotland, black cats especially are said to bring you good fortune. So if you see a random black cat in your area, you're going to get some money or some kind of good luck is going to happen. It could be small, big, in between, but something good is coming in Scotland if you see a black cat. Um, oh yes, Broom Falls Company will come, never fails, even if a stranger knocking on the wrong door. Yes, you have black cats too. Yes, we have two. They're my grandkitties. Each girl had to get one. And they're so wild. Also, guys, make sure you protect your kitties because of all the hoopla. A lot of people that aren't so kind do some really terrible things to black cats. So make sure you protect your little babies if you have one. I love black cats. Me too. That's why we have two. Huh? Oh, you can bring him. Where's Shadowfall? I can show y'all my kitty. One of them. My grandkitty.
Yeah.
They're both boys. There's one right here. Here's one. That's Shadowfall. Looks like the one on the picture. Hello, Mandy. I thought you had power. How are you doing? Are you making it over there? Welcome in, Glenda. As you guys know, Glenda is in the house, my amazing mentor and teacher and friend. We're talking about superstitions. If you just popped in, we've been kind of going down a list of different ones. We're without power in the morning. Mandy, this is a really good homework night then. Yeah, that's one of them. Rocket is wild, but he's not fully black. He's a tuxedo cat. Oh, she's about to bring him over here. My other one, he's a tuxedo. There he is. It's crazy because we got them like a year ago and they were so teeny tiny, and now they're like big old Goliaths. Thank you. I tell the girls all the time we're getting rid of the cats because they drive me bonkers. All right. So that was black cats crossing your path. Again, I think that is bogus. you know how I feel about the whole witch trials and things like that. It was all a terrible ordeal. All right. Okay, the next one. Let me see if I can get this going. Photo library. Let me do this right, Ashley. Get it together. What's after the cat? This one. All right. Next superstition is a really classic one, breaking the mirror. Right palm bring in, leg go out, which is opposite of Reiki. Is that why I'm thinking opposite? Yeah, we just talked about that, Glenda. We talked about the palm. We talked about walking under the ladders. We talked about salt, throwing salt over the shoulder, whistling, and then you came in on the cat. So yeah, we did talk about the itchy palms and how it's tied to the Caribbeans and how they rub their palms. If you're just coming in here, if you have an itchy right hand and you're in the Caribbean, there's a special tree they have, a special wood that's spiritual purposes, and you rub it to seal it in. And hopefully you don't get splinters. I don't know. But I have a black tuxedo and his brother a gray. Oh, I love gray cats. I like cats, but they are so destructive. Like all my cats have hid most of my crystals. Like they will take them and hide them. I don't know what they're doing at night with crystals. I guess they're in here summoning something. I don't know, but they are terrible. Now, breaking a mirror, and so the saying is if you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. But do you know why it says 7 years? Well, I'm about to tell you. This dates back to Roman mythology. Now, back in Roman days, which is still going on, but back in the day, ancient civilization days, I don't think 7 years, but breaking a mirror never a good thing. And Cuba as well. Really, I didn't know about that about Cuba. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me that. I did not know that. I meant to write down the name of the wood. It's a special wood, and just kind of like Stonehenge. When you go touch the stones of Stonehenge, it has like magical properties. This wood has magical properties. I need to go check it out. But that girl also has beautiful cats. I love it. So in ancient Roman civilization, they believed that your soul had a 7 year cycle, right? So whatever you did. So if you broke so let's say you broke the mirror and you got bad luck. Well, you'd have to wait a full 7 years because you have to get through that cycle. Now, is that true or not? I don't know. But this is what they believe. That's how 7 years got tacked to mirrors because of the Roman tradition. 7 years, your soul renewed. So if you were in an abundant phase, you got 7 years of it. But if you did bad things, then your misfortune would be 7 years long. So you'd have to wait for that cycle to go, right? Um, Now, most people believe if you break a mirror, to get out of that whole 7 years bad luck, what you do is you collect all the pieces and you bury it. Some people would throw it in like a stream, but don't do that because you don't want to put glass in running water. But a lot of people will just say, you collect it all and you bury it, and it reverses that 7 years bad luck. Again, whether it's true or not, it's up to you to believe. I wonder if the wood is Palo Santo. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I'll have to check into that though. I wish I would have wrote the name down. Ah man, I had it in my head and now it's gone. Because I was like, I need to go to the Caribbean and see this wood. I want to see the. It's in the same family. There you go. Glenda knows. It's in the same family. I don't know the name. I'm so sorry, guys. So again, this is why 7 years for a mirror. Now I do cringe. I've actually messaged Glenda before when I was moving. I was like, I broke a mirror. What do I do? I don't need any bad luck. So, but if you do, just bury it safely. Do not put it in water because you don't want nobody drinking glass water. And that's even if there's many people that break mirrors all the time, don't believe it. Also, we're going to talk a lot more about mirrors and this. And how much more time do I got? Okay, I got some more time. I might go a few minutes over, but I have some more mirror stories too. All right, let me get over to the next one. There's one I believe. Okay, let me get off of this one first. Remove image. I'm already running out of time. I have so many. I'm about to do a part 2 because I have a bunch of them. Okay. Here we go. Let's talk about library. Here we go. There we go. Sweeping feet. How many of you guys believe? I told you guys at the beginning of this live, I'm a firm believer do not sweep my feet. How many of you guys believe that? This is a really big thing. There's some different things. Some people in some cultures they believe if you sweep the feet, if your feet get swept, you will not get married. Some gypsy cultures believe if you get your feet swept, you will go to jail or some kind of law thing will happen. I firmly believe my feet get swept is bad luck. I'm telling you guys, I have been in restaurants and I have told the workers, do not sweep my feet. It's bad luck. I'm almost on top of the table and they're sweeping around me because I don't want them to sweep my feet. It's really, really it cringes my skin. This is one that cringes it. Um, Now this one also goes to the Afro-Caribbean roots, and because they say that if you have your feet swept over there, it's you're losing your personal power. You're sweeping your own power away or your luck. So there's things you can do. You can do like a circle around the broom. Some people spit on the broom, throw salt on the broom. There's things you can do to reverse the said bad luck you get. I stand in the air of caution. I'm not getting my feet swept. I'm gonna beat you with the broom first. Um, so again, you can spit on the broom if somebody does your feet, whatever your personal protection is. You can do that, and hopefully that will help. Sweep your feet. You will not get married. Well, guys, if you don't want to get married, there you go. There's your guarantee. I don't know. I ain't taking a risk. Okay. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Let me see. I might have to skip over a couple. I want to get to some cool ones. Let's do this one. It did not come up. Come here, mister. Get over here. Okay. Knocking on wood. How many of that's why you jump over the broom when you get married. There you go. There you go. I am not having my feet swept. How many of you guys knock on wood and know where it comes from? That's a really big one too. This comes from the Celtic cultures. Because for them, think about little fairies and all the little tree spirits. If they knocked on the wood, they're asking the spirits in the tree to protect them. You see in this picture, there's an evil guy coming after him. He's knocking on that wood to say, please help me. Right? Please help me. So it goes back to those days where tree spirits would come out. You know, you would knock on you knock 3 times, because 3, we all know the divine number, and you would ask said spirit to please protect you, your family, whatever you need, and you're either gonna get it or not. It depends on the person you are. You know, wood is very cultural specific because you gotta think we have those days. Celtic has this. Um, you know, there's certain wood like Jesus's cross was made out of a certain wood. There's certain wood used for different things. Wood has a very, really big magical meaning depending on where you're at culturally, where you're at in the world, belief systems, and all. There's something for everybody when it comes to wood. So, but this is how it all began. Because back in the day, they would knock on the trees to wake up the tree spirits. Isn't that cute? I love it. This is one of my favorite ones. And I do knock on wood. If I'm just, be extra careful. Please, tree spirits, help me. In the UK, they say touch wood. They don't really say knock on wood. They said, I don't know, I'm not over there, but I hear they say touch wood more. I don't think it matters. Who cares? Make sure I didn't miss anything. Obviously, you want to prevent bad luck. All right. Let's get rid of this one. Image. Who's next in the line? Here's another one that I don't agree with, but for this purpose, we'll talk about owls. How many of you guys think having an owl, Glenda, you knock on wood? Is that what you're saying before? How many of you guys believe that owls are harbingers of bad information or bad luck? I don't believe that. But what I will say, David, my other half, his family believes if you have an owl outside your home hooting, like the little hoot they do, I can't do it as good as some people. But when that happens, somebody's going to either become sick or you're going to hear of somebody passing away. And I'm not kidding you guys. I lived with his family we've been out of that house for a while, but we lived with his parents because they had a big house and had a room for everybody. Me and David lived with them for 10 years. And within that 10-year span, it was a few times that owl would sit on that tree outside the window and he would do his little hoot hoot. And he did. Somebody passed away. I am not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's crazy how it happens. Now, I don't believe that. Like I don't believe it all the time. But in this particular situation, this really did happen in my life. And I was like, holy crap. But there are some people that believe that it brings bad luck. I think owls are beautiful and misunderstood. And I love them. I believe good luck. You believe that it brings good luck? Oh, I love that. I love that. Um, the reason why they get so much flack is because in Aztec mythology, owls were able to go to the underworld and back. So it is believed that when an owl comes to you, they have a message from the underworld for you. Now, nowhere in the resource says it's bad message. It could be something good. Who knows? I don't know. But the whole point is the owl has the ability to go into the underworld and come back and give you a little message. Um, but I wanted to share that story because I'm not kidding. Now, interesting enough, David's mom is from Guatemala. She was born and raised there, and she came over here from there. And so she's one. They also believe, and this has actually happened too, in his family. They believe that if you dream that your teeth are falling out, somebody's going to pass away. And I'm not kidding you. There's been 2 times where one of his family members dreamed that and somebody passed away. I'm like, what is going on with you guys and this passing away superstitions? Like, ugh. So they would dream like your teeth would be fully falling out, and then you would hear of somebody either really sick or passing away, and that's happened a couple of times too. So I'm like, oh my goodness. They are messengers and protectors. Yeah, I love owls. I think they're the most beautiful creatures ever. I believe they are signs to pay attention. There you go. I love owls. I have one in our big tree of us every year. Just had one moving about. I walked out the door one day. I was, doing my thing, walked back door, and the owl just shoots right in front of me. I was like, I looked at it. It looked back at me, and I was like, please don't tell me you have some kind of crazy message for me. This is just a coincidence that you're flying by me right now. I believe it's wisdom, knowledge. Yeah, owls are cats with wings. Ah, yes, I think they're beautiful. I have not had one in my yard since I left David's parents' house. But there was one tree that used to sit out my bedroom window, and that owl would sit there, and he would do his little hoot hoo, and I'm like, go away. They think you're bad. They leave me feathers. Ooh, that's amazing. Wise old owl. They're very, very, very wise. I love them. But I wanted to bring it up because people believe that. Okay. Let's see what's next on the list. Image. Oh, library, actually. Oh, this was a good one. It's gonna pop up. I gotta do it again. It makes me do it twice. Why is that? Anybody know? Image. Oh, library. Does anybody believe in this one? Oh, okay. That doesn't want me to talk about that one. Okay, one more time. Photo library. And now I'll move on because obviously this one doesn't want to be talked about. Add. There we go. Do we believe that you're not supposed to cut your fingernails or your toenails at night? Now, during the day, it's fine. But at night, it's a no-no. I'm skipping over a few here because there's so much to talk about. Does anybody believe this one? This is a really cool one too. I've never really paid much attention until I heard, and I was like, man, I'm sure I've broken this one many times because at night's the only time I have 5 minutes to breathe. During the day, I'm a mom all day, and when the kids finally go to sleep, I have a chance to shower and do all the lady things that I don't get to do. So I've probably broken this one many times. However, what did I write down? Oh, India. That's where it is. Now, really, the truth behind it is back in the day, you didn't really have all this power and electricity. So at night, it's kind of wonky to see. So if you cut your toenails at night, you're probably going to cut yourself. That's really where it rooted from. But somehow they took that and they said, oh, if you do it, you're going to shorten your life. You're going to do all these things. And it kind of flung into this, right? And that's how we got to, if you do it, the devil's going to come and shorten your life kind of thing. I think it's bogus, but hey, for purposes of this, it's a fun thing to read about. Never heard this one. Yeah, you should not cut your nails at night. Um. Oh, I do want to talk about two more. I know I'm getting close on time here. I have a bunch, but there's two more I really want to talk about. Hey, baby. Let's see. We'll skip you. We'll skip you. We'll do you. And we'll do it again. Image. Go library. You. Go there. There we go. Wishing on a star. How many of us wish on a star? I agree. I cut my nails whenever they get too long and I have the time, day or night. Yes. Wishing on a star. Anybody believe in this one? Now, obviously, we glamorized this with, was it Pinocchio? Which one of Disney movies was about wishing on a star or something like that? Wish upon a star. I think it's Pinocchio, one of those. So that's when it bloomed up. But in ancient Greek mythology, they believed anytime they would see this happening in this picture, they believed these were very rare moments where the gods were peering down out the sky. And so in these moments that, hey, I got your attention, Mr. God or Goddess, I'm going to ask my wish. And they would wish upon. But they didn't think it was stars. They thought it was the gods coming down and peering because it's so big and beautiful and bright, right? It couldn't be a star. It's got to be something bigger. And this would give them a chance to ask, hey, I want this. Hey, I want that. I wish on a moving star. Yes. Was it Pinocchio? Wishing upon a star, that's the one that's magical to do so. Yes, I do wish upon stars. But yes, this is where that comes from. They believed the gods and goddesses were kind of peering on down, and they would be able to hear them. This is because it was rare. Back, it's still rare today, but it was very rare, and it was a big thing. Speaking of wishing, let me move this one. Okay, image. Full library. I'm getting better now. Do I have a picture of? Yes, right here. Here we go. I'm gonna keep myself small because this is beautiful. Who throws coins into fountains? Throwing the coins in the fountain, making a wish, throwing a coin into a fountain. This is a really big thing. Because, and this is a real fountain. This is the Trevi fountain in Rome, and I wrote it down. This particular fountain, to this day, collects $1.5 million in coins a year, and they donate the whole thing to some kind of charity. I don't know which charity they donate to, but every single one they donate, 1.5 million, I did the research, is from people going to over there in Rome and throwing them. Isn't it beautiful? So, in ancient Rome, we're going back to ancient Rome, I'm always there. But coins were offered to deities because they felt like if they offered it, they would keep their water clean. Because you remember back then, there's no filterization. And they had ways they filtered water in their own way, but not like today. And what happens in sitting water? Bacteria grows, parasites grow. It can get really nasty. Back then, if you got a bacteria in your stomach from the water, you did not make it. It doesn't happen. So they would use their coins to, wager, hey, let me give this offering. You will protect our sacred water. We can consume it, do whatever we're going to do with it, and we're going to be okay. That's how we get throwing the coin into the water and wishing on it. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Love the feather gifts. Me coin the fountain. Yes. Yeah, that is crazy, huh? 1.5 million, guys. 1.5. All right, let me see if I can do one more. I know I'm at the end. I started with 60 superstition. I made it down to 30, and I still ain't got through the list. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can do one more. What's a cool one? That one kind of goes with this. Oh, here's one I also believe too. I'll just do this one. Then I can end with this one. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna hold you guys up. Okay, there we go. Mirrors facing the bed. If you've been to my TikToks or know me in person, you know I think that's a big no-no. Also, while we're talking about this, which I break this rule every night because it's the way my bed is set up. Over in Chinese mythology, you're not supposed to have your feet facing the door. So if you sleep, if you have your bed and you're sleeping and your feet are facing your bedroom door, that's bad luck because they're saying you're sleeping like a coffin. Back then, when they took you out feet first. So they said that's a bad thing. You should never have your feet facing the door. Now I break this rule every time because my bed is right in front of my door and my feet are there, so I need to rethink this whole situation. But for this purpose, can't wait to watch part two. Yeah, I'm gonna do part two because I have like 4 or 5 more pages of superstitions. I've seen you a couple. Yeah, you've seen me talking about mirrors. Guys, I cannot say it. Do not have a mirror facing your bed. Think about that. Have you ever woken up feeling drained? I won't have a chair facing my bed either. I know that's another one. I'm kind of compiling a lot into one section right here. Chairs welcome someone to sit there, and I have almost beat David because we have a computer chair in our bedroom, and I have woken up and that chair is looking at me and I'm looking at it and it's like right at my feet and I'm just like, David, move the chair. And usually I'm not kidding, guys. Those times I've had the worst nightmares and I'll wake up and the chair is looking at me and I'm just like, the stupid chair. Mirrors are portals, and yes, if you sleep backwards, nightmares happen. Feet towards the door or inches, right? Yeah, it's crazy. Um, oh my goodness. I have told people till I'm blue in the face about mirrors. Mirrors are portals, so if you have a mirror facing your bed, it will drain you. It will drain your energy. It can welcome something to come on out. Now I know, guys, we live in a society now where there's protection and people know how to protect the mirrors. And mostly everybody has mirrors in their room. So I'm not saying don't have it in your room. I'm just saying don't have it facing your bed. Or if you want to keep it facing your bed, you could just take a blanket or something and cover it when you go to bed. Because remember in the Victorian era, when somebody passed away, what did they do? They'd run and cover the mirror and open the window so the soul could leave because they believed it would get trapped. I did a thing on mirrors and souls get trapped in there. People do mirror scrying, where you sit in front of the mirror and you scry and you want to see things. And there's a lot that goes down with mirrors, so be very careful with that. I have a mirror on each side of the bedroom to make it even. Oh, so what Glenda has done, she has a full blown portal. Because when you put 2 mirrors in front of each, you create an endless portal. So Glenda's just got it. She just got it going on over there. I don't. I will cover the mirror and move it. I don't want it facing my bed. I have, and this, I was joking about this with a friend the other day. I have a full mirror. So in my bathroom and my bedroom, there's a whole door mirror. So when I get up to go pee at night, I won't look in the mirror. I'll look down at my feet. So I'm just like sitting there, like looking down, because I don't want because it's dark and I don't want to look in the mirror and I'll start seeing things and then I can't sleep. I know, guys, I need help, but I covered mine after you telling me about that. Yeah, it's a true story. I pee looking down. Don't look in the mirror. Now during the day I can look in the mirror all the time, but at night it's something about that mirror too. That mirror was here when we moved in. It came with the house, um, and it's like attached to the door so good I don't even know how to take it off. And I like it to get ready. It's great, but like at night I'm just like I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna look in it because my luck. Someone's gonna look back at me. You cover yours. That's good. Yeah, cover the mirrors. Turn 'em around. You know, again, Chinese mythology and feng shui, you can put mirrors strategically at your doors and things like that, like on the other part of your house, front door and back door and things like that. And their belief is when the door opens, if you have a mirror a certain position, then if there's somebody evil, they won't come in because they can see themselves in the mirror, they can see their reflection, it wards them off. That's some pretty cool things to look into. There's a lot to look into when it comes to the mirror. There's so many avenues to choose from. Also, don't have mirrors pointing at your entrance door, guessing the door or something reflecting good back out. Yeah, but also in Chinese mythology, they believe it wards off evil because they don't want to look at their reflection. But again, so you see that's Chinese mythology, and then you have yours over here. They're all different, guys. They're real because you believe they're real. They're real because you put your essence into it. You know, if I believe that mirror is gonna look back at me, it's real for me. When the next person's like, you know what, it's just a mirror, ain't nothing gonna happen. For me, I'm like, I don't think so. So it's all going to your intention and what you believe. That's what makes superstition real. and how you pass it down to your children and their children. That's how we get from ancient civilization to today. Marriage should not be facing unmarried portals again. Yes. But Glenda's a different type of human being. She can handle all that fun stuff. She has her things. So I don't do it, but I have done it and had to go back and fix it. I'm like, hey, those are facing each other. Move that. um, Glenda has some. She can hold it down. She don't worry about that stuff. All right, guys. Well, I have a ton more to talk about, but I know I'm way past my hour. I have like 4 pages I didn't even pick up. So, with that being said, I will move it to next Friday and we'll do a part two. As always, I'm looking for guests. So if you have a special story or something that falls into the unseen, uncharted realms, unseen stuff, let me know. Reach out. I would love to have guests on here. I'm an open book, so I love talking to people and getting to know your story. So just let me know. I want to thank each and every single one of you guys for coming and hanging out with me this past hour through all these technical difficulties of having to switch, so my computer crashing and having to switch devices. So thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm not worried about portals. Yeah, I was gonna say that portals is the least of her worries. She's far proceeded that stuff. I love you guys. I hope you have a good weekend. Make sure we're still under the full moon. So tonight, guys, it's 10 o'clock here in my time. I don't know about you guys, but go out there if you can, or look through your window and look at that moon. Charge your crystals, make your moon water, and release things that no longer serve your purpose. Full moon's about releasing. Write it out. If you can burn it, cool. If you cannot burn it, submerge it into water, put it in the freezer. I don't care what you do with it, but release it. Right? You'll feel so much better and replace it with some good juju. Um, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Thank you. Oh, you're amazing, Don. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Michelle, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so, so grateful. You guys make it all worthwhile. What else did I want to say? I know I'm rambling. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great week. Do something good for yourself. Enjoy this moon. Bye, guys.